Hey guys, Ryan here. In today's video, I want to talk about one of my favorite movements in all of Warzone, the crab walk. If you're wondering what the crab walk is, it's essentially when you spam the crouch button over and over again in a gunfight while strafing side to side. The reason I call this the crab walk is because of the whole crab raid video and because the crabs go up and down, and that's pretty much what you're doing in this movement. If you look at this gunfight in the background, you're going to see a really good example of it. I think overall this is one of the best movements to learn in the game because it doesn't require having a high sensitivity and it can be used by almost any player if they take the time to actually learn it. So in the background right now, this is a slow motion, or not really slow motion, but just a normal speed motion of what it looks like. You're simply just crouching over and over while looking at the person and strafing side to side. The main reason you want to strafe like this is going to activate the rotational aim assist, and the other thing is this is going to make you extremely hard to hit. This movement is super effective for anyone on mouse and keyboard, but it's even a little better for controller players because by moving the left stick and strafing side to side, you're going to be continuously proccing rotational aim assist, and this is literally going to make your aim stronger and your aim assist stronger overall, and that is a massive benefit of this movement. I will say one of the hardest parts of this movement for most people is just figuring out how to implement it in their game. When you first try it, I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to just do it right away. I would heavily recommend coming into the Warzone orientation, and that's under the private match and training section in the main menu. Click on the Warzone orientation, go through almost everything, and then when you get to this end part, what you want to do is you just want to simply practice spamming your crouch over and over while strafing. You just want to get used to it. If you just go into a game without even trying it in a plunder, without even trying it in a pregame lobby or something, you're not going to really be able to do it unless you're just a movement demon. I'm sure there are going to be some people who are just going to be able to get it first try, but I think most people are going to have to take the time to practice it in the Warzone orientation and just in their overall gameplay. I'd really recommend hopping into Plunder, going into Modern Warfare or Vanguard or Cold War multiplayer and practicing this movement. It's super effective to do in the open, but it's also even more effective behind cover. By continuously weaving in and out of cover, you're making yourself extremely hard to hit, and it makes it super easy to win a lot of gunfights by abusing this. The other reason I think this movement technique is so good is because it's perfect for low or middle tier sensitivity people. I play on a super fast sensitivity, so that means I can do super fast horizontal movements like you're seeing in the background. I can turn right, I can turn left, I can slide cancel, I can do all these things because I play on 1313 sensitivity. Most people cannot play on sensitivity that high and have good movement and good aim. So for them, the crab walk is perfect because you don't have to do all these fancy twists and turns like I'm doing. All you have to do is just sit there and spam left and right with your crouch button, and you can destroy almost anyone by getting stronger aim assist through the movement and by just making yourself extremely hard to hit in a gunfight. However, I would recommend for people to learn to combo this with the slide cancel or even a jump shot. If you can slide cancel into the whole crab walk movement, you're going to find yourself winning gunfights with so many more plates left on your body, and that's going to be one of those small things that's going to win you games. When you're taking less damage overall in your gunfights, you have more plates for third parties, you have more plates overall in your entire game because you're not having to waste them on healing, and you're just going to have better resource economy throughout the entire game by doing things like this. That's why movement is also so important. Not only does it single-handedly win you gunfights, it keeps your resource economy extremely healthy, and that's one of the most underrated aspects of winning in Warzone. By having good plate management, by knowing how to use your bullets, by keeping your ammo high enough to be useful late game, you are able to continuously put yourself in a good position and win games. As you're seeing in the background, I had 3 gunfights where I never lost all 3 plates because I was using this movement. Now, if I wasn't doing this movement, sure, I probably could have won all of those gunfights the same, but I probably would have taken more damage and I wouldn't have been able to have as many plates as I ended up having. If you are someone who doesn't have paddles on your controller or you're not used to playing claw, I would really recommend playing tactical. This is going to be very difficult at first for you to push down on your right stick and still be able to aim, but you can learn it with time. But I would also heavily recommend learning claw or just getting a paddled controller. There's a $30 option for Xbox controllers that also work on PC, and the PS5 and PS4 hopefully are going to get some cheaper paddle editions soon. The PS4 has a $30 paddle option that I'd heavily recommend for most people, because being able to have those paddles or the back buttons in any form like a Battle Beaver is going to change your game. Because as I said, with the movement like this, you don't need paddles to do it technically. On the other hand, it will make your life so much easier in the end, but I don't want people to feel forced or pressured to get a paddle controller in any way. When you watch these videos, I want you to know that almost all top tier movement, almost any quote unquote cracked movement techniques or just whatever can be done without paddles. Whether that's through the use of bumper jumper and tactical, whether that's things like stick and move, or whether that's even just playing claw. There's so many different options other than just paying $150 for some expensive controller, and I promise you don't need a paddle controller to be able to do movements like this. You just need to be able to adapt in some way and form, and it's probably going to be worth your time if you don't have the money. This is easily one of the best movement techniques in all of Warzone, and I'd heavily recommend it. Even though I end up going down, this guy had me dead, and I died only because I got shot to the side. But for me to be able to push into a building down one, get shot at first by my enemy, and still win the gunfight because of the whole crab walk, it kind of speaks for itself. I'm going to start wrapping this video up, guys. This movement is nothing too crazy, but it is going to take a lot of time for people to learn. It's not that easy to just instantly implement in your game, and you have to give yourself time to learn it. It's simply just spamming crouch over and over while shooting and strafing left and right. Now that doesn't sound too crazy, but once you try it in game, you might feel like a fish out of water, and that's why I'd recommend really practicing it in the Warzone orientation or plunder. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, do consider leaving a like, do consider subscribing. I hope you guys have a good day overall. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm pretty sure I already said that. Whatever. It's been Ryan. Peace.